After watching this video, there is a good chance that you might end up unsubscribing to the channel. You might end up hating me. You might end up wanting to throw stones at me. But we have to talk about it. Hello and welcome to Khosi Nation Fan TV. I am Pilo. I am your host. This is where fans meet and talk about Kaizer Chiefs. I'm a Khosi Football Club. And in this video, I'm talking about us, the Kaizer Chiefs fans. And this one thing that you might not want to hear. So we are all Kaizer Chiefs fans, right? And some Sundowns and Pirates fans and other teams fans who watch this channel. What we want as Kaizer Chiefs fans, what we have in common is the fact that we want our team to succeed, right? But how we get there, it's different, which is understandable. We have different opinions, we are different people, that's okay. And whatever that I think does not mean what you think is wrong. It's just my own opinion, right? Because for the past 8 years, obviously, we have not won anything. And if you ask me who has been the most contributing factor in that, it's not us the fans, it's the management. But us fans contribute with how a management handles these situations. Because at times, if there's so much division within us as fans, then we give management a get out of jail free card in a way, because other people are saying this, other people are saying that. And the management is like, abazaz bafuna and lab, right? We did have a strike, 2020, I wasn't there, but I'm saying we, talking about Kaizer Chiefs fans, because we had a strike where things were submitted, but still, people don't really agree on certain things. What am I even talking about? We are always looking for quick fixes. That's just the first thing. Abalandel bethu, we want everything to happen now and instantly. And that is why we move from coach to coach to coach to coach. And all those coaches that were being appointed were also by the management, which were wrong appointments, were based on the fact that the management wanted to get someone who was going to come in and win us something. For example, you can't tell me why he came back to the Chiefs. But since he had won something for the Chiefs, management brought him back. You go to Hunt, why did he come to the Chiefs? Nami, when he was about to be appointed, I was like, yeah, if he gets appointed, we win something, that's for sure. Baxter had won something for the Chiefs, gets appointed again because he can win something. But the things that were not put into account there, the style of play of all the three managers that I've just mentioned, all of them, they play helicopter football. And people did not care Uguti how we're winning those games. They just cared about the fact that the ball was played over the top and they won. They cared about Uguti, we were scoring goals. Uguti kanjani, and whether that system was sustainable or not, people didn't care about that. Right. So lento yama quick fixes ikhona ukuthi we did not complain about the style of play when uMintendorp was winning those games. As looks it go, oh, Tapiano. No one was complaining about the style of play. But then when we were figured out by other teams, oh, Lalik helicopter, and then Upito even said before the game, oh no, I know how they're going to play. We're just gonna play 12 defenders to make sure they don't score. And because of that, other teams knew very good how we're playing. And now that's when people were like, oh, this helicopter football is not working. And it's because Kwatina, we discarded the whole thing, your philosophy, in favor of our results. We were rushing our results so much because even now this season, Chiefs has lost some games, has drawn some games, but you have seen what they were trying to do. But our players, equality, which is a different story that we can talk about, failed to do that. But since we did not win, people are now saying Zwane out. Let me not mess up my points and go point by point. The other thing that I want to talk about is the fact that there's a lot of favoritism. It's understandable. We are fans and we like our team and we have our own favorites in the team. By the way, if you're enjoying this video, please do like it. It helps me to reach more people like you. For example, I posted this thing last week. Ukune Peterson at the time had played 10 games and had 10 games and had 7 clean sheets, and now has played 11 games and he has 7 clean sheets. That's a good record. That's a very good record. But I started getting questions from people were saying things like, oh, he was lucky, right? oh, he's lucky to get a clean sheet out 7. Other people were asking me how many saves did he make. To which I was asking things like, did you count the number of saves that Kone made for each game? Or when he had a clean sheet, you just said he had a clean sheet. People were talking all of these things about Kone, and that when he did make the mistakes and then he ended up being put out to sit on the bench, people started saying Kone hates, Zwane hates Kone. You have Umatoho, for instance. Umatoho, even under Baxter, he had started struggling, making mistakes, stupid mistakes at the back. Umatoho is not that pace. Chiefs plays a high line. That system won't suit him because Bazomshi. That is why Dove is always our outstanding player because of how much he recovers ball. That is why Ungezana is also complimenting Dove so well because une pace and they can track back. Umatoho is no longer that good of a player when it comes to. He was never a good player when it comes to playing out from the back. As a defender, yes, Ube Chiefs, but when it comes to playing out from the back, he can't do it. Yet people will still insist ukuthi Umatoho should play ahead of Ukwinika. Yes, Ukwinika might is not playing well and he should be sitting on the bench, but not in favor of Umatoho. Kusenodube, kusenongcobo players who should be ahead of Umatoho. But people are rushing to Umatoho because he won so much for the Chiefs in the previous seasons. And now they're overlooking the fact that the style of play has changed. The coaches that Umatoho played under are no longer there. The kind of football that we are playing right now is different from where Umatoho was in his prime. But people will want to crucify you if you say anything like that. And people will also force and tell you, Guti, experience all the time. And then I will say, look at the players who are performing for the Chiefs right now. Umtu is our most outstanding player. Ublom before he left, who was our most outstanding player. Akekho umdlalo experience who's outstanding for the Chiefs right now. And I'm not talking about, I know good experience is not just about age only, not 80 or something, but it's also just about ukuthi we put so much emphasis when we say, oh, someone must play as a defender, or maybe, I don't know, some people will complain when you're saying, Blom, even during isikhathi ka Blom should play there, they were like, no, Ukol should play there because he's more experienced. So we're pushing this thing, yoguthi experience, even if someone is not performing, because maybe it also has to do with being black or whatever, South African. Guti, we always just think older is better. But sometimes if you're good enough, most of the times, all the times actually, if you're just good enough, you're old enough. It doesn't matter if you're 10 or 20. If you can do it, then get an opportunity to play. And another thing that does not help us to progress as a club and to correct our mistakes from the past is that we don't call out the team for doing izinto that clearly they shouldn't be doing. For example, we turn on our own ex-players, we turn on the ex-coaches who call out the things that are said by Chiefs. Take, for example, how much we've defended Chiefs in the issue of Blom. They let Blom go and they never had a replacement for him. But we're still blaming agent yak. To this day, abantu basa blame agent Blom. To this day, people are still blaming abantu ukuthi they always inflate ama price when the Chiefs wants a player. But we've established ukuthi at times the Chiefs just chip out of ama deals. We found in the bagaga pule mode ukuthi there were lies yokuthi Chiefs wanted about 5 million, to a point yokuthi this was not even a rumor because Arrows themselves, the official page Arrows, tweeted out the fact that they wanted less than 2.5 million for Upulemont and the Chiefs couldn't sign him, and yet we didn't have it depth. But Tina, we are hell-bent on always defending the team, even when it's clear ukuthi track record yabo is not that great. And since we are protecting them, at the end of the day, like, we have the backing of our fans, so we can tell them whatever that we want them to hear and believe, and then we just go along with the story. And because of that, the management gets away with murder every day, every year, and the chest pains, they intensify each and every year. Right now, people are calling for Zwane's head. Chiefs is underperforming, Chiefs is not playing well. Chiefs, as we speak right now, they are fourth on the league. Like, the you ask yourself, ukuthi, Pirates, the team that is supposedly the what's this thing, is supposedly on form. You check your Chiefs, you number 4, 34 points, 34 points for Pirates. And yet, Tina, we are the team that's underperforming. And if you compare the squads, say Pirates and say Chiefs, you will see the difference. A Pirate is coached by the European coach that people are saying Chiefs should get, an experienced European coach that our fans are saying we should get. And yet, that inexperienced coach who's coaching the Chiefs, who's clueless according to people, is still fourth, tied, same points with the Pirates. With a squad that does not have the same quality as the squad's a Pirate, yet Zwane is tied with the European experienced coach. Team started with no CDM. We had to use a makeshift CDM Bloom. Team started with no strike. After being trashed by Sundowns, then they had to sign Caleb. It's fine, it's okay. They were then forced to sign Caleb. January, they sell Uplomu, but they don't replace him. The very same person that we used as a makeshift CTM who knew how to play that position, was then let go, and then we never replaced him. People are insisting that Chiefs is not better or getting better, but look at how many chances we create this season. I'm not even talking about half chances. I'm talking about clear-cut chances, not cross pela. Like, we play the ball around our defenders, we get chances. We play our ball behind our defenders, we get clear-cut chances, and we miss them. Whose fault is that? Pirates, when they saw they were missing chances, they hired a striker coach. Goal difference right now, 0 for Chiefs, 80 for Pirates. I'm not attributing all of that to their striker coach, because then he left. But when he came on, we saw immediate change. We don't have enough depth in our technical team. We don't have enough depth in our squad. Yet we are competing with the same Pirates that is in form. So people are overlooking this thing, and they are saying Zwane is doing bad, blah, blah, blah. Klopp in his first season, Liverpool, where did he finish? But afterwards, by being backed by management, ended up making Liverpool the best team in Europe for like the previous 5 years. Last year, they almost won a quadruple. How did Xavi? He just got knocked out of the Champions League and Europa League. But look at where they are in La Liga. Look at how many times they've had bad performances, but they're building. I know people would say, but Xavi coached before. Yeah, Xavi coached before, but where did he coach? He wasn't coaching a team that is the size of Real Madrid. People would say, no, Arsenal, Arteta coached with Pep. He did not coach. He was the assistant coach ka Pep. And then people would say, no, but it was in his comfort zone. Yeah, no. Arteta, he was in his comfort zone because he was working with his friend, with a person that he shared the kind of footballing brains, basically. And he struggled in his first season, and people were saying, Arteta out. Now they've changed their minds. He might win the league this season. Upito, people say, let's not compare Zwane to Upito, because Upito came in December, but he still struggled to a point that he was escorted by Amapois out of stadiums. But people are insisting Ugut is Zwane out. And then if you ask, who are we going to bring in? People just say a white coach. Doesn't matter who they are, as long as they are white, right? People will say things like, because Zwane is inexperienced, so we need a white coach. I'm like, that doesn't even make sense. It's the same logic that AmaZulu are using. Ufohloza, it's because he's white. That's why he's coaching AmaZulu kushuthi for other people. Because yina seyenzile ufohloza nje. But there he is, being given a 3-year contract. He might prove me wrong and start performing, but he has coached how for how long in South African football, and how much results, how better are his results even getting. but he's white, so contract extension. Maybe Chiefs should just get Fohlos because he's white. So it's a worry in that regard. There are these things that we say, but if you look deep, you see maybe Watina was just adding and fueling the problem that is at Kaizer Chiefs. Comment. Give me your own opinions. Thank you for watching. Catch me on the live stream at 7:30. And until next time, remember, Khosi, Alphelo moya.